Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. I'm not that old, motherfucker.
Well, welcome to the Truckery podcast. I am your host, John, with Carrot Customs.
I'm your host, Devin, with OBS Solutions.
And we're back.
What are we going to talk about this time?
I think we got a few things. And I know you want to talk about some of the overplayed trucks in the market, but
right.
I had one that I've been saving.
Oh, dear. Okay, go ahead.
Because I want to show it to you. Trenton's talking to the dogs.
Takes a healthy swig before he has to talk.
We're a well-oiled machine here.
So I live in more snow country than you do, but you have a house now in more snow country than I live in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm up at 5,000 feet elevation. We're like in the Himalayas.
Dude, you have such a rad spot, and I love it.
I appreciate that.
But I have always wanted something with tracks. Every time.
Is this on the marketplace you found? Did you find some? Okay.
No, I got tagged in this by
go ahead.
a buddy of mine that I actually met in Shasta, helping us to try to find stolen dirt bikes.
Okay.
Long story. But he tagged me in this.
That is fucking rad.
And so anybody, I need to, Colin, I guess I need to share
that screen.
Because this is really cool.
We got to tell our viewers, by the way, we are on YouTube now, so you can watch what we're seeing and describing, because we suck at describing things. We do our best, but Colin here, say hi, Colin.
Hello.
Colin here is helping us do all this stuff because we suck at it.
Yep.
And so if you want to see what we're seeing, check out YouTube.
And
Spotify. Thank you very much. And you can see this stuff. That looks like something that's down the road from our house up at Crescent.
Dude.
That looks like there's a Jeep on the same setup that is there. Yeah.
So for those that are just listening, this is an Arrow Nose OBS tow truck-esque single cab with like a tow truck style flatbed. Is that a tow truck?
I wouldn't say
look like a
it
tow
isn't.
bed.
Yes, it does have a tow, like a
oh yeah,
it does.
The bar.
Yeah, you can't see it because it blends in with the trees, but it does have yeah, it's a tow truck,
full on tow truck,
right?
And he puts tracks on it. I got tagged in this on Facebook by my buddy Braxton.
That is so cool.
And it's Cascade Towing in Easton, Washington, and he's got an OBS on tracks. And I would love to have like a Snowcat.
Yes.
Or like working on, I had 10 barrels Snowcat here to work on and replace some tires.
Which I was looking at Snowcats, and you said it was a straight 6 from just a Ford
306.
Yeah. A lot of them were that. I started to look on Marketplace for Snowcats, and like a bunch of the older ones like that were all straight 6s. I mean, I remember my dad always saying they live forever. The straight 6s.
Oh,
were
yeah, those 300s are great.
That, though, is next level awesome. That is cool.
That would be so cool to have a tracked. Yeah, I got tagged in it. I think he's like...
Wait, if you go back, though, one thing... Okay, so... For people that aren't watching our shit show on this on YouTube or whatever, so we're gonna describe it. Single cab, like John said, it's got like a kind of. I don't think that's a real tow bed, because usually tow beds were dually beds. That looks like a single wheel bed, which looks cool, and it's all like custom built. It does have like your wrecker style. What would you call that? What would you call it? Boom off the back of it?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the dolly lift underneath or anything like that, but it says the F250, I noticed.
Does it?
I swear the badge said F250, which is kind of interesting. I'm more interested in...
It's definitely, F250, but it's been Dana 60 swapped. And it's got that classic Warren front
That's
bumper.
What I was going to say. It's got a classic Warren bumper, and then if you go to the other picture, check out the leaf pack in the rear. That's a serious leaf pack. Like that's not your stock setup.
Right.
That's what I was looking at. Like I noticed that it still has a shackle in the front, though. Someone needs to talk to him about a shackle reversal.
Yeah.
Right? Because it probably rides like shit. But check out the track system is legit.
It is. Yeah. The tracks, I don't know what brand those are.
I don't know either.
How much do those things cost?
Well, I was looking at them for my Expedition, and it was like $6,000. So I bet that's at least 10. Right?
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it'd be fun.
It would be so fun. But you on your Expedition, you're going to be able to get like some actual paddles on it. These are like...
No, they look like that.
Really?
I mean, they had like... I look some of them.
They're not like snowmobile tracks that are like highly aggressive.
No, they didn't look that bad. Oh, that's kind of more flat. I guess you're saying you're right.
Yeah.
No, the ones I was looking at had like a small, like maybe inch paddle on it. That looks more like a mini excavator or like a skid steer.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like
they're more
right-
like skid steer tracks, and they look like, they'd be good on trails.
Tell you what, next season when it's tax season, that's what you buy.
Sure.
I'll buy a set. You buy a set.
I don't know if you can write those off.
You
as
totally
well as
can.
You can other
Yes,
things.
100%.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the thing, though. You can't just see this. Is what Lisa and I are talking about. You can't just have tracks for yourself. You have to have a buddy that has
Yeah,
tracks
you got to have a tracked friend.
because you're not going alone.
No, it's like you can't just buy a snowmobile for yourself,
Right.
and have zero friends that also have don't have snowmobiles.
Right. Because when shit hits the fan, you're going to need some friends to help you out.
And going and riding by yourself is not that much fun.
It sucks.
I like it occasionally, like dirt bikes,
Yeah.
once in a blue moon, but like not far from home, just like
Right.
behind the reservoir, and put headphones in and just rip.
So we're saying next year we're buying tracks for our OBS Fords. I'll put them on the Bronco. You put them on your extended cab short bed.
My crew short.
Crew short. Yeah. Party cab.
How
Or
do
a
you
family
think-
cab.
How
short.
would they do on a TTB?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because it's going to be angled articulation.
I think well, my Bronco's a TTB technically, so they're cut and
Right.
turn. So let's try it out. It's, you know what that is? That's R&D.
R&D.
We'll tell the wives that it's just R&D money.
Dude, it would be so fun. Even like,
Do you think you can go? I mean, you think the gearing on that? Like, I know there's a whole gearing reduction type of thing. Do you think? I wonder
Yeah.
how that would like power wise it would feel.
yeah, I don't know. I think there's built-in gear reduction to a
Right.
certain degree, but I honestly don't know. I just would love, like, I'd love to have a snowmobile. I'd love to have some sort of tracked rig, especially when we start getting dumped on here.
Yeah.
And it's just snow everywhere. I'm like, why do I not have?
I just picture you hopping in it and going down to your local brew pub and like
Oh, dude.
getting your craft beer and
If we had enough snow, I would for sure ride down the side of Highway 20 down into Tomorrow, drink beers, at the bite or
Yeah.
at the tavern or whatever, and ride that thing back home. I've done that on a pit bike before. Not saying that
in the snow or just dry.
Oh, it was dry.
Okay,
On the side of the road,
just
no helmet. Like, that was not a wise decision.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
one that if I would have gotten caught and in trouble, I would have really regretted, but it was a great time.
Well, that's all that matters.
Pulled into the gas station on not even like pit bikes, like Coleman mini bikes.
Oh, like you're talking like right out of like Sportsman's Warehouse type of pit bikes.
Yeah. Rode
Okay.
them down to the gas station, filled them up, went down to the bike, got some food and some drinks, and then rode them home.
Do you like pull up and like when all the people at the bite, all these bougie people look at you, you're like, dude, I get 50 miles a gallon on this hog and just hit the kickstand?
I don't think anybody even saw. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
You're not supposed to ride those along the like bike lane on a major highway.
I would think not. No. Although I was talking to Greg over at Desolate and like the mini bikes, like your mini bike syndicate that you see in like Southern California and stuff like that is getting very prominent. Like last time I talked to him about it,
Really?
yeah, like it's a thing. And he was telling me he was at like some stop sign or stoplight, and there's a whole gang that ran through, and they're all probably like guys like us, that
Oh, yeah.
really have jobs and shit. They're just going out there and pissing people off, but they do it at a big mob and no one messes with them.
Right.
Probably like the
'cause-
Wheelie Boys, I guess, the same type of theory.
Yeah.
Except
I
you
mean,
just can't
that
go that
stuff's
fast.
fun.
You just can't run away from the cops.
No, exactly. I'm like, yeah, if a cop shows up and I'm on a Coleman, 212,
Right.
whatever, like, we're not running from the cops. It's not like we're on a 450 where we can just barrel off in the woods and
Take off.
adios. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Well, moving on. What are we gonna go talk about today?
I think we got to talk about, well, it's a topic you brought up.
Well, I was just thinking because we have Colin here and he loves Toyota Tacomas. He fucking just loves them. And so I was like, the most overplayed trucks, because we love OBS trucks, obviously. But
Are those overplayed yet?
Colin, from outside looking in, are OBS Fords overplayed yet?
I would no. I don't feel like they are. Like
Okay.
I mean, you're only seeing less of them because
Oh, you think so?
because they're getting older. So
Sure.
there's less and less like
Okay.
good ones or ones that are still out there because half the time it was a ranchers or whatever, and they just retire the truck and leave it in their field when they buy the new truck. They don't sell it. They just leave it out there.
Right.
So technically there's probably less and less on the road, even with how many people are restoring them. But they're also a truck that you don't get tired of seeing.
They're not. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Just like C10s.
Yep.
Or classic Broncos. You don't get tired of seeing those. Or dent side or bump sides.
No. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Name me a truck that you get tired of seeing.
Tacomas.
Honestly. And I wouldn't be opposed to owning one.
Yeah. That and Gladiators.
Oh,
The
gosh.
Gladiator around here.
Well, or four-door
big
Jeeps.
one.
Four-door Jeeps in general. I always think four-door Jeeps, Gladiators is the same thing. One's got a bed, one doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because one's a truck and one's not.
Right, but they all, like, it's the same animal.
Yeah, but one's a truck and one's not.
I get that.
You
Thanks,
said
Colin.
truck.
I did say truck.
So
You're right.
it's-
Okay. Thanks, Colin. I did say SUV. You got me on that one. Thanks.
Yeah, F-150s.
Oh, I would say Raptors. I'm tired of seeing the fucking Raptors out there that a soccer mom's driving around in them all the time.
Yeah.
I like seeing more like, if you're going to see a Raptor, it needs to be like beat up or like dirty and not all pressed out and actually doing hood rat shit. And like, I guess that's what I expect when you buy a
like
Raptor.
use it as if it is a Raptor.
Right.
Not use it as, to take the kids to school or run errands.
Right.
But you can say that about a lot of things.
Tesla trucks. I'm tired of seeing them. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
They're ugly.
Yeah, they seem to get off the road.
Okay, Elon. Thanks, bud. I get it. You're making rockets that come back and capture and all that stuff. But could you design a better looking truck?
Yeah.
Him? Probably not.
Oh wow.
It just looks like ass. I've never heard anyone said, except yourself, that said, that's a good looking truck right there. I've never heard anyone say that.
Said, that's a good looking truck right there. I have said I kind of like its uniqueness, and I would like to drive one day. Like, I'd like to see what it feels like. I want to know what inside feels like.
Is it amazing how many you see on the road?
It's pretty surprising.
You see a lot going up and down I-5. There's a lot. Like, I'm on I-5
There's
quite a
lot
bit.
in Bend.
Is there?
Oh, dude.
I'm just thinking, like, who goes?
Teslas, Rivians.
I'm just
I
thinking
think Ben's kind of a hotbed.
it is for that.
Like
yeah.
the weird, rare, expensive car.
Is that
'Cause,
because
like,
it sets you apart?
There's more like Raptors per capita in this area than anything.
It's like every soccer mom
swear,
has Raptors
there's
out here.
So many Raptors here, and it's like you don't ever not see Raptors.
Well, I think
Yeah.
the thing is, like, a Raptor looks cool, right? It's wide, it has
It
that
does
offer.
look
It looks cool. But a freaking like Cybertruck, I just cannot wrap my head around the look of it.
It's one of those things that, I guess, in my opinion, it's so ugly. Like, it's like past the point of like, that's just an ugly car to me. It's like, it's so ugly, it like kind of
Really?
intrigues
That's what you're
me.
going with on that one?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
I'm not,
Devin.
you're right. You're right. No
I
hate
don't
comms
know.
here. You're right.
I will say, as much as I really don't like watching this, but that is a little noisier.
You can hear
Oh,
that
it's not
too.
bad.
Yeah, we
It's
can
not
do it that
bad.
time.
You're good.
As much as I'm not like a big Whistle and Diesel fan,
Sure.
watching his 2 videos where he like tests the Cybertruck, especially the first one when he rips the entire tow hitch, like the aluminum frame just snaps
Yeah.
in half and it just comes off. And seeing how easy it was to pull like some of the trim off the doors and whatnot, it bummed. Like, I don't look at them with the same affinity.
Price tag on one of those trucks. Are they
Like
expensive?
$100K,
100K for one of those.
I think.
If you had 100K right now, Colin, and you had
I
to
don't
buy
want to ruin my algorithm googling that.
listen, Colin, if you had 100K, but you had to buy a truck with it, what would it be?
Ooh.
Not a Cybertruck.
No, I got to hear your opinion here. We're going to ask John next.
I mean, 100.
100K
That's
For a truck.
that
For
for
a
a
truck.
truck.
Is there a year range?
Nope,
limit?
whatever truck you want.
I'm
Come on, Colin, I got you on the spot.
I mean, honestly, I'm probably just getting whatever the newest F-350 is.
Good call, right there.
Just
Long bed, short bed.
Just what crew cab, long bed, like just the generic, like use it for everything truck.
Pressed out.
Look, I've got a tow pig now. I can haul whatever I need to haul.
Kids,
dogs,
dog,
whatever.
yep, got it.
And I'm not going to drive it all the time,
right?
But it's going to be
okay,
comfortable for all of that. It's going to do all the things I ask it to do.
Okay, so John, your turn.
100K, but it has to be a truck.
Has to be a truck. You can't have a Rivian.
Well,
sorry, bud.
If he gets the Cybertruck, it starts at 80, so he'd have 20K left over.
I think I'd go with a Peterbilt.
Bold fucking move right there from John. Nice work. 379?
Yeah. Or
okay.
359.
Okay. Oh, really old. Okay.
I would really like a 351, like a needle nose.
Okay.
Decked out.
They look like they'd wear you out driving them.
Yeah.
You get how those guys do that.
Modern. Honestly, like I would want something like Ben Palmer's.
That's a nice truck. That's a 379.
Is it 79?
I think it's 379. It's laid out nice, not too much.
It's not too gaudy.
That's a good looking truck.
Like he did that right.
I haven't noticed you needing a semi truck, but I like your style.
No, but like if I'm gonna spend $100,000,
right? Like that's what you want to do.
And it has to be a truck. Like if we're talking any vehicle, and I've got $100,000 to spend, it's for sure not a truck at all.
Okay, I got okay.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I would have to narrow it down between like Porsche 930, which is a wide body 911 turbo, Testarossa. I don't think you can get an F40 for 100.
No, F40s are a million.
Yeah.
A million. Okay.
But you can get a Testarossa. I'd take a Porsche over a Testarossa. Yeah, there's so many. Even like a GT40. Like
that's a good
kit car GT40. I couldn't afford, with 100, I don't think you're getting an OG GT40, but a kit car with a 427 side oiler in it, like it would be between that and the 930.
Okay, so
I don't think you can get a Testarossa either.
Really?
Oh, no Testarossa. Damn.
You used to be able to get them.
This economy we're in is just struggle street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at 100.5 for even like a really early one.
Okay, so back to the trucks.
Okay.
It'd be a semi truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because I'm putting my other truck together right now.
Yeah.
The Duramax truck. That will do what I need it to do. And if I had that and a spare $100K to spend on a truck, a Peterbilt.
Got it.
For sure.
That's a good
with
one.
A 3406B.
Oh.
Cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely gets us off the Cybertruck right there. You notice that? We're away from the Cybertruck. Thank God.
So much better.
I'm still not like saying that I wouldn't like to drive a Cybertruck and like feel it out.
Okay, so out there to our listeners and followers that follow our shit show here, there's like 5 of them. Give us what you would buy with $100K and let us know, and we will love to see that.
Note of that in the podcast note for this, because I'm going to make a poll.
Yeah, what would you buy for $100K that's a truck on a truck platform, be it semi-truck, pickup truck? No SUVs, no Rivians, John. No like
Rivian?
Rivian, whatever they're called.
Rivian's a truck.
They have a truck.
Oh, that's right, they do. Oh gosh,
count that out.
Okay, the Rivian truck with this like stupid headlights. Like they really messed up on the headlights.
I disagree.
The body lines look good on them, except the headlights are lame.
That is your opinion.
It is.
And it's just like my opinion that I don't totally mind the Cybertruck.
That one's...
It's missing polygons. It doesn't...
You're on my side.
Am I playing GoldenEye right now? Like
no.
N64 firing up. That's in the background.
It is like GoldenEye.
No, Colin agrees with me. The Cybertrucks are derpy. Super derpy.
They are derpy. And I have heard that driving one, like, you just feel like a major douche because everybody's staring at you because you're like, whoa, there's a Cybertruck.
That guy paid $100,000 for something that looks like ass. Yes. Congratulations to be a focal point.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? People like put their business names on the side of it. And I'm like,
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I see it all the time in Albany. Yeah.
Disaster relief in Redmond.
Really?
They have one that's wrapped orange.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
You know what would be cool? I'd wrap one as a General Lee.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be hilarious.
That would be good.
The problem is, like, I don't like it when companies take, even like, you know, if they've got a brand new F-350 Platinum or whatever, like, that's okay. But as soon as you lift it and put it on big wheels and tires and you like make it gaudy and then you put your like J&H Construction or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like some sort of like company logo on it. If that guy's showing up to my house to do some sort of work, I'm going to look at that truck and be like, it doesn't jive well with me. You can show up in a brand new truck, like a nice stock OG truck with your company logo on it.
Maybe a small lift, conservative tires, nothing gnarly.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Like leveled, whatever. But it doesn't have like gaudy wheels and like all the bling, and you don't hop out of the truck with like, you know, those like stitched jeans. And all
the
that.
bedazzled ones.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like you show up like a normal person, but you have a new rig that you probably need a tax write-off for. Like, okay, I'm happy to do work
like a Land Cruiser.
But you show up and it's just like 8-inch lift, giant chrome wheels and tires, and like you got your brand all over the side of it. Like that just doesn't, I don't know, it turns me off.
Well, I was thinking like how much of this estimate or this bid for this project is like padded for paying for that truck and the
exactly.
the 16 wides and 24s.
Yeah. And for some reason, I don't look at somebody that has a vehicle like that and assimilate that with quality work.
That, although on the flip side, sometimes you see contractors with the worst vehicles ever, and they produce some of the best quality work.
Exactly.
I mean, like it's a flip flop.
Yeah, the ones that are riding the truck to the ground.
Those are the guys like that. The dash is full of nothing but carpenter pencils and like sticky notes and just like, you know, chalk line refill cans and just all that shit like stuffed in the dash. Yeah.
And they either one, don't charge enough, or two, they have like a massive bank account and they don't give two shits about driving their old truck around that has made them.
Yeah. It gets them to where they need to go. That's all they care about.
There's two sides of that. I think there's two that's a yes and no. We had a contractor built our house and he showed up in a Dodge, and the springs were coming through it because his dog ate the seat and you couldn't see the dash, and it was comical. And he did an amazing job, dude. Absolutely amazing. And he just rode around in a shitty truck. And then I've had contractors show up and pressed out stuff that did amazing jobs.
Right.
But it does turn you off, right?
I think it turns me off a little bit.
The bedazzled jeans is where I draw the line.
Oh, yeah.
That you said that right. That,
and like some snakeskin cowboy boots or whatever, they hop out.
Right.
You can see like the shiny.
I feel like you don't get that here. I feel like you get the bro scene here. Like a guy gets out and he's got like the new vans that are white and gets out in a contractor's like area, and you know, just sold his place in California for 2.2 mil. It was 2,000 square feet or something like that. And
that happens a lot.
That's a thing here. I can see that. But we just scrolled off topic big time.
Well, it was like same thing, like a Cybertruck with a company logo on it.
Right.
I would never do that, in the sense of just like, for one, they're automatically look douchey, and two, like everybody knows that they're very expensive, and then you put your company brand on it. It's like, oh,
wait a minute. What happens when the OBS game gets so spicy that seeing an OBS out in the wild, you're like, that guy bought that. You must have some money, and you have your business name across it, like Carrot Customs.
Okay, so
are you the douche
other
then?
Classic vehicles do that for you?
I mean, wouldn't that have been pre-COVID OBS prices?
Pre-COVID? What do you mean?
Yeah, like
they were cheap. They were cheap pre-COVID.
Well,
I was gonna say,
not like, okay. So, for example, when my dad upgraded to his 16, and he had a 97 crew cab long bed power stroke.
97 to 16?
Yeah. That's a big jump.
That's it is. But I mean, for a while there, he tried to get some decent money out of it. But like comparables were 27 to 30 at the time. He didn't get it. He didn't get that. Like, and I don't know if anybody that was selling, but at the time, that seemed to be a fair price.
How many miles were on this truck?
He was like at 150 or so.
Is it ZF5 or auto?
It was auto.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess, like, I remember
I mean, there was a time when OBS stuff always seemed crazy expensive to me.
Seems like it right now.
It does feel like
Like
it
to
right
me,
now.
it's right now.
So
like
maybe it's going back up.
it might be going back up. I feel like COVID was gnarly. Like
COVID was
gnarly for
a little
everything.
crazy.
It was for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I sold my dad's 2019 Duramax for him during COVID that he bought for like 62.
Yeah.
It was Denali GMC, like super nice. Put 20,000 miles on it and then sold his fifth wheel and was like, I don't need this truck anymore. And sold it for 67.
Jeez. Yeah, COVID had some gnarly numbers in the COVID times, right?
Yeah, it was like 21, I believe, is when we sold it. 21 or 22.
I feel like the OBS game has only gotten more and more expensive though. Like shitbox are going for 15 right now. Crew cab long 7.3 trucks that have like 280K are going for 15K,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
Which is kind of asinine, right? But that's what the market's bringing. People are buying it. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, and then people go, like a gentleman that keeps bothering me for a truck. Hey, I crew cab short. I'll pay, 40K all day long for something clean. And I'm like, that's nuts. That is crazy money for this truck game.
Yeah.
But we're only jaded to it because there are more out here that are still available and clean than there are in a lot of places.
Well, and that's one of the things I noticed, even listing the Centurion for sale, is it, and I put it on like some of the like OBS for sale pages or whatnot, where it's all over the country. And the first thing everybody asks is, does it have any rust? And nobody believes you when you're like, no, this truck has zero rust. It's an Oregon truck. Like, you legit don't have to worry about it. I go and take pictures, and there's a couple spots where there's like red clay dirt stuck.
Okay.
But I look in the photo, I'm like, that does look like rust. Like, nope, that's not rust. It's legit like red clay dirt. There's no rust, no cancerous rust at all on the thing.
Well,
But everybody else, like from outside of the West Coast,
yeah,
that's their first concern.
those Centurions were more prone to rust than most, it sounds like, after talking to Paul.
Yeah, especially on the roof.
Yeah, they were like super derpy how they put them together.
Oh.
And
There's no headliner in that one. You should see.
I saw
It's
Paul's and I was
really
like, thought it was a
ugly.
joke. And people love these things, right? They're like, oh, I gotta have a Centurion, but you're like, you look how they're put together, and it's like, it's a joke.
Yeah, they're fit and finish work. Speaking of companies that really only cared about the almighty dollar, I would say Centurion was one
Yeah.
of those.
You could see some of the stuff in like the sense of the interior when it comes to like their wood
Yeah.
stuff. It's just like stick on over the factory stuff.
Yes,
It's cheesy.
it's cheesy, and I can't understand how like that was acceptable.
The
Yeah.
bar was set low, and I think it is still today on a lot of
But
shit.
that's partly the time,
True.
too, don't you think? Like the 90s. Like
Hey,
it wasn't
wouldn't go buy
exactly
a new
like
car like
high
that.
quality. Like the 90s isn't really known for like tip top quality.
Hey, take
stuff.
it easy. Caprices and Crown Vics. Come on, guy.
Still not tip
Like
top.
even expensive European cars, like everybody makes fun of how like shitty they were because it was the 90s. It was this new era of technology and things like that. So people are trying all these new things and not necessarily pulling them off yet. Like the reliability of it wasn't there. So then,
Right.
you know, the fit to finish stuff wasn't quite like perfected
I
like
remember
it is now.
I remember a story. I think the 80s were way worse. I think the 80s were way
Yes,
worse
for
because
sure,
I would
yeah.
agree.
I remember my dad was always complaining about how 80s vehicles were the worst with feedback carburetors, and that technology was half-ass. And the 70s were like the golden era, right? But the problem,
Were they?
well,
Or was it the 60s?
I always think of the 70s Fords as being these trucks that were very, very like stout. Same thing with Chevrolets. The thing is, like, you were doing valve jobs every 30K. You know, that's a thing, right? Like, those guys, my dad always talked about pulling heads and doing valve jobs at 30K. That was a standard.
30K?
Yeah, he
on
was-
what motors?
Just 390s, 360s, that
Oh,
kind
the
of
old
stuff.
FE blocks.
Yeah, he was always telling me like that was part of like a regular tune-up type of thing back then.
Just pull the heads.
Pull the
do
heads, do a
valves.
valve, do the valves, go through it, points, condenser, plugs, go through it.
Points.
Right? Points.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dwell.
Exactly. You ever ran a dwell meter?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how many people listen to this podcast know how to operate a dwell meter, right? It's so like I think you're right. 90s had some goofiness, but I think 90s like an OBS Ford is a prime example. Brick nose, I think they're not bad. Arrow nose definitely got their shit together. Door panels creak a little bit. Plastic was better. We can agree on that.
Right.
80s.
It was the ironing out of the luxury portion. Like that was what the 90s was.
What was luxury in the 90s?
Yeah, quote unquote
What was
luxury, yeah.
I mean, but you know, it's funny. You guys will appreciate this. Some of the BMWs and Mercedes in the 90s, like, still had real wood. And it wasn't like this shit stick-on stuff, right? It was legit, like, and it said in our service manuals, Mitchell and stuff will say, you need to use a router to make this part.
Which is
like,
wild.
Like that was, I remember Justin coming like, hey, you have to get a router if you need to replace this piece in this trim of this Mercedes. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like it's real wood. But like, you're right. Centurion kind of sailed it in and said like, let's just do stick on shit or screw it to the existing dash or.
Right.
But.
Well, and the technology of that, like my 92 S4 had all 4 heated seats. Like on dials, you know,
that's wild, isn't it? That early
6, and automatic climate control where you just set it. I want it 68 degrees in here,
and it probably worked, right?
And it worked great.
See, isn't that funny? Like that was so early, and now we're just catching up to that now.
Yeah, now it's like if that isn't like
standard, yeah.
My 97 Ford doesn't have that.
Nope.
But I wish it did because I like to not have to dick with the knobs. I'd like to be able to set it at 68, 69 degrees. Let it go.
I think we're just being pussies. I think at some point you just have to be manual. Slide gauges.
Well,
I mean, come on,
let's. It's like, why are you even driving? Like, just get on your Lamborghinis and start running. You know, like you can take it back so far.
That's pretty good, John. In the world of like, let's just make everything so sophisticated. It almost take the fun out of it, though. At times.
Yes.
It does, right?
It
like
does.
At some point you're like, you know, you get in a newer vehicle and it's got climate control and heated seats and cooled seats and does all this shit. You kind of just go like, kind of miss just a slide the knob over for your temperature, a simple crank to the right or left for your blower motor.
Yeah.
You know, and a wing window to open or close for, I mean, like really, it's okay. We'll spend more money, the 3 of us, right? We'll spend more money on old cool shit than fucking new shit.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, and that's a fad, or that's not a fad. It's a thing.
But 30 years from now, there's going to be certain things potentially on these newer vehicles that we're going to look at and be like, man, this is such a cool little feature that this has. Because like just like we're talking a 90s Audi, my 90s Audi has climate control and heated seats on a knob and rear fog lights. Like there's all kinds of stuff that's just like little like details
nerdy
that are
shit,
like nerdy for car people.
So
it's just like there's going to be something like that later on that will be the same thing.
You know, 90s Fords. I'm gonna say Arrow nose.
Okay.
The bouginess for an OBS Ford or Bronco was when you had the double flip down visor.
That's in my Duramax truck.
That is the bouginess of the OBS world, right?
And the electric mirror. There's that same package. Brian Castleman was talking to me about this. I forget what it's called.
The mirror has the turn signal in it?
No.
There's one of those too.
Your rear view mirror.
Oh, yes, has the dimming or whatever.
The electric dimming.
Right.
It's not the like, flip it.
Right. It automatically does it.
I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't driven it enough. It's only been driven 150 miles, so.
Anyway, the boot.
But yeah, the 90 dual visors and you could separate them.
Yes. Speaking of which, what's your best takeaway from the 90s? I know you guys were pups back then. But
Rage Against the Machine.
That's your really Rage Against. That's what you're going with?
I might be behind you on that one.
Really? That's what you're going with? Out of all the cool stuff out of the 90s, what is the coolest thing that was a game changer in the 90s for you? I'm going to Google this so I don't get my fucking facts wrong here, but I know to this day is the game changer for me. Everyone, take a moment.
The 90s.
What is your the one thing out of the 90s that you thought was the coolest thing ever?
911s.
911s.
Yeah, like a 964.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A turbo 964. It's a hard choice between that and a 930 for me. Sorry, I know we're speaking gibberish or
total
German.
foreign language for him.
Foreign language.
I'm redneck hillbilly. I don't even talk that German shit. I'm gonna give you some good culture here from the 90s. You ready
Okay.
for this? Crusty Demons of Dirt. The monumental changing of the moto dirt bike society and culture of what I feel is this world.
Okay.
That was it.
What was it?
You don't know what Crusty Demons of Dirt
no,
is?
I don't.
What?
I'm sorry.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious.
Colin, do you know what Crusty Demons of Dirt is?
I feel like once I see it, I'm gonna know exactly what it is. I know
Sweet
the
baby
name.
Jesus.
Sweet.
I've
Jesus.
I had some
2000s,
dirt
that's
bike
telling
friends
me.
in school. I definitely remember this. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. We got to shut this podcast down. I can't take this
Oh
anymore.
my gosh.
Crusty Demons of Dirt was a video, the first real video to come out about free ride moto. And it was punk rock. It was everything anti racing scene. And for a moto guy like me and my brother, this was the biggest eye opener of the 90s right here.
It was like dirt bike guys figured out that skate videos were
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And they started
Yep.
to make their own videos.
That's the best. That's
100%
yep.
was like all extreme sport stuff.
Yep.
Like videos all like started because of skateboarding making skate videos.
Was it CKY were the first videos?
No, CKY was like the first like fuck around
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
Like that and Jackass, you know.
This is have you never seen this? Have you never seen this
I
video?
have not seen this.
Okay, you
video.
guys, send us some information and give John a hard time that he's never seen a Krusty's.
Demons of Dirt.
Yeah, I cannot believe you've never seen these videos.
No.
Holy shit. Tanner, who's younger than you, lives by this video. And I
Well,
am very disappointed in
He
you
probably
now.
had cooler parents than me.
He did have a dad with an OBS with a mullet, I believe. And
My dad had an OBS, but my dad also had me when he was 50, so he was not very.
he was past the cool part.
He's past the cool part. I have old parents.
This is a staple. This is your homework tonight is to watch 1 and 2 and then watch Terra Firma 1 and 2 as well.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I remember Terra Firma. Yeah.
Terra Firma's good. Terra Firma. But anyway, from the 90s, that's my takeaway from the 90s. You guys got Porsche German stuff. I've got
Dude, 90s grunge music. for me.
oh,
Terrible.
It's terrible and good.
I would say 90s music was like a turning point in a lot of ways,
It was.
right?
My parents hated it.
Oh, I bet.
All of it. Yeah.
But yet 90s metal was decent, right? You're a metal guy, Colin.
That's when
90s
it
metal
kind
was-
of started to become its own
Yeah,
thing.
right.
Where it was like there were the big ones, obviously, you know, your Metallicas, your Maidens, shit like
Yeah.
that. But like the 90s is when there started to be like the real offshoots for like where punk got more metal-y and created hardcore and then like there's all this black metal and like,
When did it
all
go
that
to
stuff.
when did it go to like what Kenny and I call Cookie Monster music, where you can't even understand what they're saying?
I mean, that's kind of your cookie cutter death metal.
Okay, death
That's
metal.
what that is, yeah.
All right. Early Zombie was I always liked early Zombie. Like that was like your box stuff, right? But now it's a
Mhm.
more so generic. You hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
But Social D was always one of my favorites. Like early Social Distortion was always really good early on before they got really mainstream. But like you had those bands, but early 90s produced so much good stuff.
What about Jinko jeans?
Let's
with
not talk
the
about
40
that. Let's not
pockets?
talk
Well,
about
they're
that.
back now.
They're back.
So
That is what's blowing my mind.
They're back?
They are back. There are kids. I went to Bend High to
Okay.
talk to the metals classes there because my buddy's the teacher, and every so often he has me in to like talk to his kids and work in the shop with them. And there's kids wearing Jinko jeans that have
No.
full blown 40, like the giant back pockets that are for like carrying a 40 around. Yeah, that's a thing.
So Shane, my oldest, is a big BMXer, and he was wearing really baggy pants, and he came in the shop, and the guys lit him up for making fun of him wearing Jinko jeans, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are Jinko jeans?" And I'm like, "Well, if you're wearing Jinkos, first thing, you're not on a bike. You should be on fruit boots. You should be rollerblading, really." Like,
I mean,
right?
rollerblades.
Rollerblades,
that's very
Jinko
very much the
jeans,
case.
CD player or Walkman or not
Oh,
Walkman.
yeah.
Yeah, the disc
I
cassette
was
things.
this
Yeah,
kid.
Discman.
Were you
yeah.
really?
Oh, dude, I had rollerblades like Solomon's with,
You're a fruit booter.
You grind. Oh yeah,
Could you do backflips? No.
I can on a wakeboard.
Okay. All
No.
right. Well, that's
Yeah.
better than most.
Not on.
But a fruit booter, I didn't realize that.
Oh, you gotta go back and forth.
Okay. Skate and fruit
Yeah.
boot. Okay.
Yeah, played hockey, so that was
Oh.
like why.
Okay, so
Makes sense.
there's his pass right there.
Yeah.
That's the pass.
Yeah,
In my area growing up, it was a hard line.
Well,
of
you're a valley.
remember
You're a valley kid.
skateboard and rollerblade. Where it's like if you're a rollerblader, you're a fucking loser.
and then it turned into if you
You're
rode a scooter,
That
like
scooter
a razor
kids,
scooter
yeah.
kid. Oh
God, you guys
I
are
was
so
not a
fucking young.
scooter Kid.
You're so young. I don't remember scooters back in my day. That's so fucking jeez. Scooters, I remember like scooters first coming out. Remember they folded in two
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
and they looked like the sketchiest things ever.
Oh, and they would bend in half.
But then you look, okay, let's be on a positive note about scooters. Some of the stuff these scooter guys are doing is gnarly.
Well, now that they've got like people that are making
Real
like,
ones.
rigid, ones,
Right.
so, like
Real
in-
ones. Yeah.
improving upon
The
the
razor.
platform. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's like there's some cool ones, and like there's I actually have a friend that like got really into it like right at the like pinnacle of when they were getting big, and he like got like sponsored and shit. Like
Isn't
it's
that
like,
funny?
I mean, it's the same thing as like getting sponsored as a skateboarder and everything.
Right.
It's like it's
On
still,
a scooter.
it's still cool. Like it's a scooter, but it's
It's-
still cool. Like somehow.
Since we're on 90s stuff, let's look at 90s movies. What are some of the best? Can we say that we always say that some of the best shit come out of the 90s? It's a thing right now. In fact, that is a trend that Kenny was telling me about, that people are now going like, you had bell bottoms, you had this and that. Now you're saying Jinko Jings, but people are liking the 90s enough that look at your cruiser, right? They mimic that body style off a 90s cruiser.
Australian cruiser.
Okay, close enough, but
Yeah.
90s era, right?
Yeah.
So are the 90s, what are some of the cool movies out of the 90s that you think will never be remade again or
Oh,
shouldn't
gosh.
Goodfellas.
be? Oh gosh, that was
This
a great
one doesn't
movie.
fit fully, but Out Cold.
Out Cold, which one's that?
You haven't seen Out Cold?
I probably have. I've seen a lot of
Zach
movies.
Galifianakis.
It was like one of Zach's first like
yeah, it's
movies.
like an early Zach Galifianakis movie.
What's the premise on that?
Snowboard.
but that doesn't
bums.
count. That was 2001.
Yeah, I know. I know. Dude, you have to watch. Like
Really?
tonight when you go
Get back to
to
the
the
boys?
cabin.
Yeah,
with
talk to the boys.
Watch Out Cold. It's like snowboard movie,
Okay.
and you will.
Well, they'll be pumped to go
love it.
snowboarding tomorrow.
Oh, they'll be so pumped. It's all about Bull Mountain and
Oh man.
dude.
Okay, what do you got calling for 90s movies?
I mean, so just even quick Google.
Okay.
Let me give you the top ones. And,
Okay.
and if
Can you
I
show
hope
the
if,
screen?
and if you guys don't like,
I hope
these,
Days of Thunder's
you
on
know,
there.
The top picks for the 90s: Thin Red Line,
Thinner. Oh, that was good. Okay, that's
Saving
serious.
Private Ryan,
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Goodfellas,
Good. Okay.
Shawshank,
Another good one.
Yep.
Good Will Hunting,
Another good one.
Good one.
Fargo.
Oh, dude, Fargo was
Fargo.
Fargo was messed up as a kid watching that, and you're like, the chipper shredder part was the most messed up part.
Haven't seen
and-
it.
You've never seen Fargo?
No.
Dude,
Dude.
you gotta see Fargo, Varsity Blues,
Yeah,
Tombstone.
great.
Tombstone is
Wyatt Earp was better
like
than Tombstone.
top of the list.
Tombstone makes sense.
Okay.
Casino.
Oh, dude, Casino was good.
I mean, there's so many.
There's so much good movies that
there's
came out in
a
the
lot
90s,
of good
Yeah.
90s movies.
right?
Yeah.
Casino was gnarly. Casino was, I think, was Casino gnarlier than Goodfellas?
Yes,
I
It
think so
was
too.
Gnarlier, but it's like it was like panned way less. Goodfellas is the one like everybody loves. Goodfellas.
Yes.
Casino is like
The
the
dirty.
one that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's right, they made Casino, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I can't get me wrong here. When they beat up Pacino, what's his face and his brother out in the cornfield, was that Goodfellas or Casino? I can't remember
that's
that.
good. When they're burying the dude.
Yes.
That's Goodfellas.
That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. That's a great movie.
American History X,
Oh, have you ever seen that, John?
I don't know.
Fifth Element.
So American History
Independence
X will
Day.
make you look at Edward Norton a lot differently.
Okay.
Okay, what else you got?
Well, I just Rounders,
Rounders was great.
Fifth Element, Independence Day.
Eh,
I mean, it. You can say about Independence Day, but like that movie was that
it was like a Jerry Bruckheimer type of movie where
quite
it's
the movie.
cheesy and
Pulp Fiction,
oh, hands down.
Train Spotting,
Mhm.
I never saw Train Spotting.
Heat.
Okay, right now, Heat, I have watched that probably 50 times, if not more. That is my
Really?
go-to movie The gunfight. So anything Michael Mann is amazing. Like if you don't know who Michael Mann, the director, is, he's done some of the top tier action movies. No Cheese, the gunplay in Heat. They said Val Kilmer's reloading of the AR in Heat is like military used that.
Really?
Have you ever seen Heat?
I don't know.
Oh shit, dude. Heat is
Gotta see that.
the shit for movies. Like hands
I'll
down.
watch Heat tonight if you watch Out Cold with the boys.
Okay, all right, I'll watch
You
Out
gotta-
Cold.
Shane
Okay.
will love it.
I'll watch Out Cold
And
with the
you will
boys.
love it.
All right, I'll watch it. But
Okay, I'll watch Heat tonight.
Heat is amazing. Go ahead.
Point Break.
Oh,
Point Break
yeah.
was good.
Point
Twister.
Break was good.
Twister was good for like, I mean,
It's not that it's the. I'm not giving it as the like it was some amazing movie. I'm giving it as like that was a movie of the time.
well, that was a
Like,
movie
that
no one's ever
was-
done before.
That was a big deal.
No one's ever done a movie about a tornado, right? Like, unless you're Wizard of Oz.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
Reservoir
hands down.
Dogs.
Silence of the
good.
Lambs.
That was messed up. That was messed
a
up.
fucked up movie I watched in like a teacher's aide in high school.
You watched it in class.
In class, they're like, "Yeah, teacher's out, so we're gonna put on a movie. This is a good one for you to learn some things from."
Yeah, like,
Silence of the Lambs. I'm like, holy shit!
What else you got, Colin?
How about Waterworld?
You know what?
Remember that?
Waterworld and The
Waterworld?
Postman are the same movie, just one, they're both post-apocalyptic, one on water, one not.
Can you like show these on the screen?
Oh, yeah.
I would recognize.
Waterworld was just a Kevin Costner movie that
It's
he had gills. He had gills.
mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
The best part of Waterworld was Dennis Hopper as the bad guy. He was great.
Yep.
Dennis Hopper
The
was
Truman
great.
Show.
Jurassic Park.
The Truman Show is a very
it's good.
interesting concept.
It almost makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. It's very
Thought-provoking.
simulation.
Yes.
Man. Dumb and Dumber. Face
Dumb and
Off.
Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
Face Off. That was
Wow.
terrible. Oh, there's Ronin, isn't it? That right
Yeah.
there. We talked about that.
Ronin,
Speed.
There's some good movies out of the
Major
90s.
Pain. Major Pain.
Oh, you know what? Okay, hands down, River Runs Through It, classic movie. What else you got?
Pretty Woman. I mean, come on, man. Home Alone?
Yeah.
I mean, The Matrix was in the 90s, really?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a
Dude, Matrix.
like
Fight Club.
oh, dude,
Fight Club.
that's
Come on.
Hard to beat.
there has never been an era that produced this good of movies. I don't think
Friday.
so. I never
Titanic.
Come on, John, don't say Titan. Actually, right there, 7. 7 was gnarly.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Miss Doubtfire. Yep. And Hook.
Hook, yeah.
Fucking Rufio,
Hook.
man.
Yeah.
Rufio was shit.
Rufio was the shit. What else you got there?
American Pie. Sixth Sense.
American Pie was
American
fucked up.
Boys in the
It
Hood.
was fucked up. That was a fucked up movie.
Boys in the Hood. Like if
That
you
was
guys
good.
haven't seen Boys in the Hood, Boys in the Hood.
That's
is
a
really
good. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I would say.
Happy Gilmore.
Oh, Leon, have you seen that? The Professional. Go to the left there. That is Natalie Portman was like super young. That is a gnarly movie.
Which one?
The Professional.
Where?
Go to the right. It said Leon right there. It's in red. Nope. Keep going left.
Oh,
Leon?
Yep, Leon. Go up there. Yep, click on that. That's right there. It's actually called The Professional. I don't know why they call it Leon, but that's a great movie, dude. That's
Leon.
Leon the Professional.
Yep.
Professional.
That is a
Alright.
gnarly movie. It's about a hitman in like an Italian part of Chicago or New York.
12-year-old Natalie Portman.
Right.
Wow.
And Gary Oldman plays a psycho cop in that is unreal. It's probably Gary Oldman's one of his classic movies. It's a good movie. You should watch that. Definitely worth
I'll
it.
check that out. But how do we end up on movies?
I just said something like what
Best
movies
movies
are
of the 90s.
the
And he just went
90s.
straight to movies.
Just play it there.
Okay. Video games of the 90s.
Oh man, Tony
GoldenEye.
Hawk Pro Skater,
Tony Hawk Pro
GoldenEye,
Mario
liked-
Kart.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot was a better form of Mario Kart, I feel like.
No.
Really? You don't think so?
Dude, Mario Kart is
you
like
think still
pinnacle.
the best?
Yes.
Pinnacle.
Do you remember the first Sega in the early
Yes.
days?
I never had a Sega, but I had friends with them.
Yeah, same thing here. My cousin had a Sega.
I had a
and-
Sega.
Yeah. Remember they had some cool features, right? Did they have a gun and like they had like some weird shit that Nintendo didn't have?
What was the Sega characters? There were two of them, like a blue and orange.
Sonic.
Sonic
Yeah.
and
The
Tails.
first
Yeah.
Sonic
There's
Hedgehog game.
movies now, and they're terrible.
Oh,
Of course they
good to know.
are. But wasn't the first Sonic game pretty cool?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome.
It was like all flowy and kind of did that. I remember my cousin always playing it, and it was kind of geeky, but it was like flowy and.
What was the snowboard game like? Tricks.
There was SSX Tricky.
SSX
and then there was
Tricky.
And there was another one. Was it called 1080? Was it just 1080?
I don't remember that one. I remember Jet Pilot as a jet ski game. It was kind of goofy. It wasn't accurate.
It was not.
No.
It was a miss.
So
they did a wakeboarding game too back in the day that was also a miss.
I think.
Oh man, Street Fighter 2 and Doom.
I don't remember those ones.
Doom was a computer game.
Yeah,
it was a PC game, but it was so cool.
Hands down, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
Like we would we go to the races and we'd stay. We get in between our races. We would in between motos. We would go in the trailer and we'd play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And we had the cheat. Remember what was the cheat thing you put on the back of your PlayStation and Game Genie or something like that?
Yeah, Game Genie.
And it let you just go ahead and just let about all the areas to skate. And it was like, dude, we just do that for hours between motos.
Yeah,
NBA Jam.
Okay, NBA Jam.
Diablo. The original Diablo.
Like
sports games.
No, what about Metal
games.
Gear Solid? Was that one that was
Yeah.
in that era?
No, it was PlayStation 2, I think.
Yeah, that might have been later.
Anyway, moving on from games. Sound like a bunch of nerds. Oscar's gonna hear this and make fun of me because I was giving shit. I was giving shit about playing video games.
Is he a gamer?
Oh, big time. He's like, yeah, he's a big time gamer. I don't think he spends all night doing it, but he's like, oh, I got to do Indiana Jones movie or Indiana Jones game, and I'm like, how do you have time for that shit?
He doesn't own a house.
He does own a house, but he doesn't have kids.
Yeah,
that's a big one,
dude. I feel like I don't have time for video games, like because if I am able to play video games, I should be working on my remodel or my driveway.
That's true.
Or like I have so many projects that I could get done now that I'm like, video games just don't make sense.
And the thing like now is it's all like there's people that view the video game the same way that you view your shop. So if and most of it's you play online. So you get online and you're just like the hobbyist getting on there and you're playing these guys that are basically it's almost their job, right?
And so it's like games?
And it makes it so that like it's not fun to just like veg out and play. So that's why you have to have if you're gonna play a game, it has to be a game that like is your solo on your own that you can just mind rot your way through something because you just want to disassociate from whatever, like online, for an hour or two. But if you're online, dude, you're gonna get whipped, and it's gonna make it like so it's not fun.
I feel like I'm not a video game person, so it's hard for me to relate to that world.
Same.
But I feel like there's so much other stuff that I'd rather be doing than sitting.
We actually enjoyed it like in the wintertime at the fire department.
When there's nothing to do. In between polishing diamond plate.
Yeah, and training and whatnot. Yeah. Like if we're not getting calls, we would do the like battle royale games where you fly in and like. But same thing, like if you're playing online, there's some people that just
live on that thing.
Yeah, and we're like it's like after lunch and we just go on to play a quick game and we just die immediately. Like not gamers
I think
at all.
I'd rather play foosball, pool, or ping pong.
Pool is my absolute favorite.
That's your favorite?
I think the hard part there is the cost of admission.
Well, a ping pong or a foosball table is really not that much.
I mean pool.
Pool?
Pool's not that much.
No,
I mean, if you're gonna have a pool table and all that shit,
you have to have the space.
First, the space, right? And it's the table itself.
Tables you can buy.
Get a used table for like $500.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's like a slate top.
Whew. I mean,
it's a space. It's a space.
Space too,
right?
But granted, a console is going to be close-ish to that.
But
you can play more than one game on that console.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. A ping pong table does fold up and move out of the way. Just saying.
Even better, you can get the ping pong table that sits on top of a pool table. You fold it out, and then you can do both.
Both.
Ping pong, I thoroughly enjoy.
You could also
love ping pong.
The table up half and play on your own. Play singles.
Okay, so first thing, my dad was a big ping pong guy. So Sean and I grew up playing ping pong. That fucking half table shit sucks balls. That is not like you watch Forrest Gump. You're like, oh, dude, I can play. That's easy peasy.
Who's the prisoner in what's that movie where the giant prisoner that's all he likes to do is he's playing ping pong.
I have no idea who you're talking about. Forrest Gump?
No.
I don't know who that is.
No, there's a movie. I am so bad with I'm very familiar with movies and music and whatnot, but I can't tell you who made the movie, what the name of it is. I don't know the name of the song or the band.
You just don't care. You just don't care enough.
But I enjoy
Well, that's
all
fine.
of it.
I don't know who it is, but I'm going to take your word on it.
No, it's a, you know what movie I'm talking about, right?
I just found a hilarious movie that has nothing to do with that, but it is a ping pong movie. Do you remember Balls of Fury?
Oh,
Yes,
Balls of Fury was that.
I pictured that.
Using the wooden spoons.
Yes. Balls of Fury was in line with basketball.
Basketball?
You never saw basketball? The creators of South Park did basketball?
No.
What?
Is South Park still making episodes?
Yeah. I haven't watched the last ones, but I love South Park.
When did they, what was the last one?
Oh, they did a thing on the obesity epidemic going on, and everyone taking that pill.
Ozempic?
Yeah, everyone's taking that. That was pretty
and
good.
They were making fun of Lizzo.
Yeah.
Dude.
All right, we better get back to truckery shit. All right, you know what?
Truckery shit have we talked about this entire podcast?
Not much. We did 90s stuff, which technically ties into what we love about OBS Fords.
We talked about our favorite 90s vehicles.
Right, 90s vehicles.
You opened with the tracked OBS, so that counts.
Right? That counts, like we talked about. So we'll get it back here. Let's hit the marketplace. And we're going to go to Colin. He's going to hit the randomizer for a city anywhere in the United States. And Colin, do we tell you when to stop?
Just tell me when.
Go ahead, John. Tell him.
Now.
Attleboro, Massachusetts.
How do you spell that?
Attle Borough.
Attleboro, Massachusetts.
There you go.
I feel like there's rust there. For some reason, I just feel like there's rust.
Just make sure you share the screen.
And angry West Coasters.
Angry West Coasters
or East Coast.
East Coast is saying West Coasters?
I think it's this one. Yeah. We're figuring out all of this new stuff.
Technology's tough for us.
Oh. Do we want to roast somebody?
I just like talking shit regardless, but wait, is that a Star Wars thing down here?
No. Do you see this?
Oh, look at that hodgepodge. OBS 05 Plus kit.
Do you see with the brand?
Is that Mad Dog Customs?
Yeah.
With a K.
With a K.
I like that. That's
and a Z.
And like builds.
Yeah.
Yeah, go in there. Click on it. What's it say?
You want to?
Yeah, fuck it. Life's short, so am I. What do we got here?
We have a 1995 OBS Ford 05 Plus kit.
It looks very structural.
Yes, it is not very structural.
Does it you guys see what it's next to, right? You see in the picture there's the 05 kit. So everyone who's not watching,
and the horns.
Yeah, you got an 05 Mad Dog Customs coil kit, boingy spring as I call it, and sitting there all rusty, raw material on the floor with an air tank and some train horns or semi-truck horns, which ties in perfectly to this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, these break a lot.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Where do they break at? In the buckets or in the...
Well, I'll show you some stuff later.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But notice how the buckets, they don't wrap under the bottom side of the frame?
No, they're just on the side.
Yeah, so you have 4 M12 bolts.
It doesn't seem like enough to hold all the weight of a vehicle.
That are taking all the shock load
Sure.
and shear.
Right.
On all those bolts. And it doesn't wrap around and capture the bottom side.
Well, okay.
There's a lot of engineering issues with this.
You would
stuff.
have to have a press brake and bend that.
You would.
And so it looks to me that is just all welded pieces.
It is.
So then you'd have to have this, you'd have to resource out or have the skill set out or whatever to bend that to go under the truck, the frame.
Or even if you do it the way the rest of the stuff is done, where you weld another piece on, that would almost be more beneficial. But anyways.
That's pretty bad.
I deal with people asking the differences sometimes, and it's very challenging.
Well, let's look at that OBS Ford here, the 96 F350 Crew Long, because it's on big rubber, and that attracts me like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
What do we got here? No trades, cash only.
It's Carolina. What's RI?
Whoa, what is RI? Richards? No. What would that be? Richmond. Right there. Richmond, North Carolina.
Yeah, but RI should be the state.
I was going to say. Anyway, we'll move on. That's okay.
Rhode Island.
Island. God, we're idiots.
We are dumb.
Colin over there with the knowledge.
I feel like I knew what it was, but you guys were so unsure that it made me second guess if I knew what it was.
It says Richmond right down there, and I'm like, is that like a typo? Did someone put the wrong But then I'm like, well, wait a minute, it's a more automatic feature.
Yeah, it's gotta be a state. Wow. Anyways, moving forward.
Everyone forgets about Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's easily forgettable.
Moving on.
That comes into that size doesn't matter conversation.
Yeah.
That's why you forget about it.
Fun size. Remember that?
Fun size.
Okay. 96 F350 7.3, new turbo, new injectors, coolant filter. Oh dear. Electric fuel, new shocks all the way around, not just fronts.
Classic.
Replace radiator, front brakes. The brakes? It breaks in two? Brakes.
Well, it's the
brake
wrong,
lines.
Spelling of brakes.
Right. That's, and obviously we didn't know what Rhode Island was, so we really have a no leg to stand on here. So brake lines and more, new glow plugs, U-joint, rear.
Needs.
Oh, needs. Sorry, I'm sorry. Ooh, I missed that. Needs. My bad. Needs, glow plugs, U-joint, rear. He spelled brake right there. How come you couldn't spell it up there? Work, tires, clean title in hand. All right, let's show that footage. I kind of like the look of the truck. It looks like it's on 40s.
It is your sort of vibe. Look at that mirror.
Bed looks like it's got
a little cellulite in it.
Terrible going on.
Oh, hide the license plate.
I love the Ching Chong headlights. Now wait a minute. Let's go back to the previous picture.
I love the Toyo Proxys 4 style tires.
But it showed the other picture with different tires on it. I hate it when they do that.
Ooh, yeah.
Show me Oh, it just went from fucking cool to lame. Sorry, lame. It is. It went
Doesn't it look like the trailer crossbars are on the roof?
Okay. It looked cool in the first picture, and I was interested in buying this thing.
Were you?
I mean, look at it. Go back to the first initial picture.
We'll get to it.
It's looking worse and worse as we go along.
Yeah.
This is looking. Oh, body mounts. Need some cab mounts. It looks like. Or
yeah, but the cab's way higher than the bed.
Oh, you're right. It needs some kind of mounts. See, there it looks cool. Oh, derpy. Go back to cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's not bad.
Derpy.
It has wood grain. It has luxury.
90s luxury.
If you listen to the last episode, luxury, custom wood grain.
Oh man, this thing is rough. What's the dollar amount on this guy? What do you want here?
6,800. I mean, honestly, the dollar amount.
If there's no rust in it.
Hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. What's the wire going down the side of the frame? I love that.
It's
yeah. Oh.
It's not your standard e-fuel.
No, it's not. There's a lot of shit going on with this truck. Now the tires are different with different wheels. Have you noticed that? Like we got 3 sets of different wheels and tires.
Yeah.
And
it's like Kenny's selling this thing.
That's bad. That was really rough. Let's type in. Actually, check out the 97 F450 XL work truck with a boom on it.
I was curious about this. This is a cool picture.
He's pulling the engine out of a boat with that.
Yeah. So this is located in Coventry, Rhode Island. RI.
Now we know.
And it has 170,000 miles, 97 Ford F450 service truck, 7.3 diesel 5-speed, 11-foot IMT Dominator service body with a 3016 crane hydraulic outriggers, DA 435 compressor. All PTO driven, not electric, well maintained, 4 new rear tires, newer LED lighting and body. Everything works as it should. Will need radiator support in near future. Otherwise, cab and doors are solid. It's a rusty area.
Yes.
Used part-time the last 5 years, selling to possibly upgrade. Yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. So that's very cool. Duty.
Did you notice? Orange. I love how he said, because he knows what he has here when he says all PTO driven, not electric on the boom.
Yeah.
Like that's badass.
Yeah. and he's pulling some sort of engine out of at least a 35-foot boat.
And it looked like one of those like serious boats you take out in the ocean.
Oh yeah,
That is a very cool truck.
it's a 10-foot, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah. That's way cool. It doesn't even look rusty though. We said
No.
it looks really clean.
Yeah, it looks really good.
There's something cool about
the tape over the fender. Did you see it?
No, go back.
One. Check out the tape on the front fender.
No, that's where he had a fender
Is
guard.
that where there's a fender guard? Or
I
is that
think-
tape.
Yeah, because it looks uniform to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I see that. I think you're right. I think this was a brush
Guard, yeah.
fender flare.
F Super Duties, especially 4-wheel
Oops.
drive, are cool.
This is 2, isn't it? Yeah.
It's 2-wheel drive. That's a very cool truck. So for you at home, best description we can give you. What color would that be? Orange?
Yes.
It's like a solid Beavers, Oregon State Beavers orange,
Yeah.
right? And it's F
Look
Super
at
Duty.
that leaf pack
Awesome. With a double, it has the overloads on it.
with not
With
just
the-
like a single
And the
overload.
overspray of the orange on the leaf springs too.
Well, you know what? You got to touch up those springs every once in a while. But it's the work box. Everything's matching.
5-speed.
It's a legit truck. Is it 7.3, right? Yep. Very
Yeah,
cool.
That's a good one. 22.5, probably not that good.
No, unless it's rust free.
And it comes with, 10 grand of
Look at-
$100 bills on the receipt.
Look at the 1957 Jeep FC 150. I know
These are cool.
they're definitely different. Look at that thing. I've never seen one that short.
No, that's normal.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
No, it's not really.
Yeah,
Wow. How many did they make of those? Like not that many, would
not
they?
a ton. They're pretty rare. There's crew cab versions as well.
It looks like something you wouldn't want to be driving in a head on.
No.
That's
Extra F-head engine.
That's
yeah,
really
this is
interesting.
located in Providence,
Providence.
Rhode Island. Is that what's the capital of Rhode Island?
I don't know, but when I think of Providence,
I think it is Providence.
I think of The Departed, the movie The Departed. He always talks about Providence.
We had a placemat for like family dinners that had all the states and capitals, and that was my parents' thing, was to like quiz everyone on
When you're eating, that's not a bad idea.
what the capital of each state was
Why you're eating every night?
every night.
Wow.
Yeah. So we knew.
How'd you do? Did you like knock it out of the
yeah, you
ballpark?
get to the point where you just know which the capital is
Well,
of every state.
Shouldn't you know what the capital is of Rhode Island then? Obviously, you need those. Obviously,
Rhode
it's time
Island
to bring
is
the
one of the harder
placemats.
ones to
It's
remember.
time to bring the placemats back.
I was thinking about that like yesterday. That's why I brought it up. Is it Providence?
It is.
Yeah, I told you. See, I said I believe
Don't you-
that's the capital.
I know you're a movie guy. Did you remember The Departed, right? Don't you remember he was always talking about Providence? Like these two men were from Providence. My detective theory, he pulls back and is the two Italian mobsters. Like to me, The Departed really hits home on that era or that area.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? That's 4-wheel drive. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
it's
Yeah, they were
What?
four-wheel drive. They only made them for 10 years.
10 years.
Oh, okay.
You want to give a description of what we're looking at or just move on?
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Let's look at, should we type in OBS trucks in this area?
OBS trucks.
Let's see what's out there. Okay.
What do we?
What is that $24,750 one? $135K on this one. Is that Calypso?
No.
What is that?
Dude, you are legit colorblind.
Oh, 100% colorblind, bud. What is
That's
that?
White over silver.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Looks. I do have white trucks, right?
Everybody's been lying to you.
I
This
know.
guy has a couple.
Yes.
Because this one also looks pretty clean.
Okay, let's.
So this is located in Middleborough, Massachusetts. 94 F350. It's got to be a 460 truck. Yep. For $24,750 with 135,000 miles. The description reads very minimal. 94 F350 XLT 4x4. 8-foot bed, crew cab, 135K miles, 460 engine, clean body, originally a California truck, fresh paint job, recent front end rebuild.
Okay. So factory color, being colorblind, that's obviously.
Factory Alcoas.
And that is a 94 bumper.
Yep.
The rear bumper, which If you haven't listened to our show, rear bumpers, the OGs, to me, that is it, because no one is repopping OG looking rear bumpers. There's a couple people making like ones that are close, but they are still not original.
Still far off.
Yes. And so when I see an original rear bumper that has everything on it, it's not all dented up. Yeah, that's worth something. And
this truck is clean.
I like it's rocking Alcoas with BFG all-terrains. It looks like it's like maybe a leveling kit on it. Like they put a add a leaf in it. I don't know, maybe 2 inches of lift, give or take. It's not very tall, but correct it out.
White letters out.
Yep, it's very old school looking. Interior looks pretty legit.
It's got that 94 trim.
What I don't see this truck has inside, which all trucks of these eras do, is a trailer brake controller screwed to the kick panel. This is nice. I mean, so far it looks like a nice truck.
Cardboard.
Maybe they don't want people touching the interior,
Yeah.
the carpet, which I totally get down with. That's, I mean, no rust on the underside of the doors. Headliner's all there. Doesn't the dome lights suck in the early Fords versus the later ones? I love the later Ford dome lights.
Yeah, it looks like they had a bunch left over in stock from like 1980s,
70s, 80s, yeah.
And we're like, well, let's just like continue getting rid of these.
Yeah, like, hey, Bob, how many more do you have? I got 285,000. Keep pumping them out.
To 1995 and a half. And
Keep
then
going.
From there, we'll put these new ones in.
Yep. And then the new ones from the 94 and a half, 95 era, they use those in Super Duties too. Like what, Ford Explorers and a bunch of stuff. You're right. Bob had like a bunch of surplus in the back. They're like, just use them up.
I mean, that's how Ford makes money.
I mean, that makes sense.
They invented the assembly line.
This is true.
You know, they invented the like get it done as fast and cheap as possible.
Right. All right. So this is not looking like a bad truck.
No, it's not a bad one, but I don't think it's a $25,000.
Dude,
truck.
it's only got 135K on it, and look at the underside. This thing looks like actually very clean. That's a fucking clean truck.
What was welded on there?
I don't know, but it looks like it had a rocker ding or a underside. See that seam right there is dented, so it might be. No, one more over. Keep going to the outside of the truck. That's supposed to be straight.
Yeah.
The frame is factory non-undercoat, so you're gonna get that look to it. At least what we've seen, but it's not bad.
It's not cancerous.
No, this is a nice. I mean, so far this is not a bad truck.
No.
Oh, it sucks. It's not a California truck. It's a federal truck because it's not Mass Air, which sucks.
What year did Mass Air start?
I think it was like 96, 97, but it's only in California emissions was Mass Air that I know about.
Gotcha.
But I think for 24K, it's not a 7.3. I mean, I like that color.
I do like the color. I think
I like it. It doesn't have jungle gym mirrors.
I think it's priced $10K over.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
What? Find me a crew long, fully loaded, all the amenities, technology, if you will.
For 14?
For 14
with a 460?
With that low miles. I bet money you can't.
135. Okay. I don't want to waste my time right now.
No, but I bet money you can't. For 135K, it's a very clean truck. Now, this was recently painted, which begs a different why. I mean, how rough was it before? Was it the clear coming off? Was it
likely the clear?
Okay, or was it had some cancer, it had body damage? Why did it get painted?
I don't see signs of
and
body work.
The big one is this. Was it an inside truck or outside truck? Did it live outside or inside?
Yeah.
Most crew longs live outside.
Well, duh. I mean, unless you have a shop.
Right.
You're not parking it in a garage.
So it maybe it's been smoked by the sun. That was actually not a bad truck.
No, it's not a bad truck at all.
No. Moving on. There's a lot of OBS Fords in this area.
There's a lot of rusty ones too.
There's a lot of cancerous stuff. Which way do you want to go here?
I'm scrolling. Oh, outside.
Oh, the dually. The 95 dually.
In Tompkins Cove, New York.
What do we got here?
It's 3:15 a.m. Hauling a trailer.
You know what? It's coming swap Ford.
Ooh.
Not a show truck, it says. Just a good driver. It's Oxford white. Not in a rush to sell. All info is in the last picture. Truck could use some interior work, not rot. Needs front drive shaft made. Just replaced all brakes, but needs to be
Rebled.
bled, sorry, as the pedal is soft. Can't do that before you sell it. I can send full walk around video, willing to trade for first gen, second gen, or third gen Cummins dually or trucks or old trucks, and cash may entertain single wheel trucks. Let's see this thing. It has a cool look to it. So we're looking at Oxford white dually truck, 4-wheel drive. Obviously, they did not make a 4-wheel drive dually back then, so if someone put a straight axle underneath it and it doesn't work. The mirrors, I don't care how cool this thing is. Those mirrors are absolutely hideous.
They're garbage.
You ruined that truck by putting semi-truck mirrors on this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
just
who in the hell does that shit?
The bent bumper really gets to me.
Bumper's not straight. It's
But
got
the
some
mirrors are the worst.
pretty bad. Almost as putting GM mirrors on an OBS Ford. Who does that shit? Gosh. But okay, now we're looking at pictures of the cab off of it and a Cummins in
It's
it.
got a P-pump 12 valve with DCS mounts.
It's not looking terrible.
No. DCS mounts are kind of lame.
It's got a Skies shackle reversal on the front end. Looks like maybe
Super Duty Leaf.
Super Duty Leafs. It looks like maybe a shackle or like X codes under it, maybe.
Yeah. Intercooler.
It's not horrible,
Two of the same pictures.
of course. I always like to look at the background. Oh, here's the whole build sheet. We don't want to leave that. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to read.
we're good. What's the
It's
price tag on this thing? Check out the dent side.
15K. Yeah, 15Ks.
Is the Cummins got how many miles are on the Cummins?
Doesn't say.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, if it's low mile Cummins or miles on the engine, or did they just brake can
No,
it?
it's not a rebuilt engine.
No, not a 15K.
MV 4500. Put 40,000 miles on it in the last 2 years.
I'm not hating on this thing minus the mirrors.
No.
15K might be.
I'm not a fan of the engine mounts and some of the other things.
They could be changed. Don't stress, John.
Yeah, we can change that. We can fix it.
All right, find us another one because that was kind of like, eh. Find us something that is actually really, really good here. Crew cab short bed. F-250 crew short.
Where?
Right there. But I'm also looking at there's some weird stuff going on here. You got a weird pinstriping going on this 97 F-250 regular cab HD.
Oh, this thing? $38,000. Located in Highland, New York. Loves the truck, but apparently he can't keep it.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with it mechanically. Previous owner had a ZF5 put in it. Only has about 10,000 miles on it. Truck has 5% on the sides and back. 5% of what?
Tint.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Clear left. Paint.
5%.
Rubber left on the tires.
Straight pipe tune. New turbo wheel. Ooh, it's got a wicked wheel, I bet. Or a
Ooh.
Batmo wheel.
I don't.
Sits on 38s with full tread. I didn't get the chance to use them much. I never brought it out into the salt because it was too nice. Too spelled incorrectly. There's no rust and the frame is still black. I can send more pictures upon request. So it's a single cab F-250 long bed. Apparently 80,652 miles for $38,000. Is that your panel?
I believe so. I don't know why I would buy one of those. The rear bumper, a painted rear bumper.
Painted white.
I don't hate that. Ugh.
6.4 bumper up front.
Okay, it's not the worst thing ever.
No.
No, it's
Besides the cut frame horns.
yeah. There's that. It's not hideous yet. We haven't gone to the. Is that it? Is that all the pictures?
That's all we
That's
get.
all the pictures you get for $38,000.
Okay, everybody. This thing has only been up for 1 day, and apparently it's going to go quick for $38,000.
You better get on it quick.
I would offer at least $5,000 over asking because
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to last.
Can we talk about the pinstripe thing on the side?
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
I don't either. Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers I'm not a fan of, but it doesn't look terrible on this truck.
Doesn't look bad on this truck.
At least they're not the bolt-on, like the pocket ones.
The rivet ones.
Yeah, like it's
Which really
those
are,
look more natural on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which the riveted ones are really just fake, right? Because they just stick them on. I've been told.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not real. Like the
Oh.
old school ones were, but the new ones, I guess, are just a. This truck has a cool graphic on the side. I don't.
It's the Boss 302 Mustang.
Is that?
Is it?
That's what that is.
graphic is.
Okay, yeah, it's Oxford
That's
white.
probably what this has in it, huh? Is a 302.
That's no. Isn't it 7.3? It's a diesel right there. It says diesel. That's a 7.3 truck.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 38K. Are we?
It's not worth 38K.
Oh, there's no pictures to justify it. Like
No.
$38,000.
Pictures. One of them has a wreath on the front. That makes me think you're going to string, like lights all over this thing and scratch the paint. And it's got Toyo MTs. I don't know, man.
I think if you're going to post something for that spicy a number, you should probably have some better pics.
38 is a lot.
What's
Or
the interior
maybe
look like?
We need to start listing trucks for sale on the East Coast.
Oh, put your Centurion on the East Coast for 42K,
Yeah,
right?
it's a project.
Yeah, I just think like if you're going to hit that number, which the truck looks decent from these pictures, right? Like,
yeah, it's not bad.
no, just give us some more pictures and like frame pictures, underside of the cab.
Interior.
Interior would be nice. Let's see under the hood for $38,000, which if it's worth it, if it's clean, it might be worth that number.
And a picture of the cluster.
That would be nice as well. Because someone I know got screwed on a truck that the cluster got switched on him.
And there was a picture of the cluster.
Nice. Well, moving on. I think we're about out of time, John.
Are we?
Yeah, this will be the last one for today.
This will be the last one.
Do you have any closing comments, words, and advice?
Oh, man. Don't buy this truck for $38,000.
That's your closing comments?
I mean, if you want to buy this truck for 38 grand, come talk to me. I can help you find a better truck.
Okay. All right. Well, that's John's closing comments. Colin, any closing comments for today?
I might have to back you up on your pricing of that last one, because in my searches while you were looking, I found one that is local with
Okay.
less miles.
Ooh.
But its price was also 26.
See? I'm not that far off. All right. So my
That's
closing comments
insane.
that you're going to get from the little Irish guy, two things we talked about. Watch the movie Crusty Demons of Dirt if you've never watched it, regardless if you're a guy that rides four-wheelers that wears a hat backwards. Or,
Is that Kenny?
ooh, that could be 100% Kenny.
Oh, okay.
And second one, Heat, one of the best action gunplay movies ever made. That's it. That's all I got.
One of the greatest snowboard movies ever made, Out Cold.
I will watch that tonight.
Okay.
All right. Hey, thanks, John. Thanks, Colin. You guys are listening to the Truckery podcast. Love it or hate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, because now we're on YouTube and Spotify. You can watch our lovely shit show. John, anything else I need to say?
No closing comments.
That's right.
Besides to like, subscribe, comment,
That's it.
let us know what you think. And did we have a thing for or was it last episode? We had what's your favorite? I think it was this one.
What's your favorite one?
Remember?
What's your favorite?
What would you buy for 100K?
Yes, we want to hear you guys. What would you buy for 100K?
Truck.
Truck, that is. Right?
Okay.
And it could be a Rivian too. If they made pickup trucks, my gosh. Anyway, let us know, you guys. We want to hear what you guys would, if you had 100K, what truck would you buy? Thanks, guys.
Later.